Wesson IDPA Indoor National Championships. I'm saving the best for last. Well, it's the best because it happens to be my favorite stage because I shot it the best, but hey, whatever. Right off the bat on this stage, you face the tough decision of whether or not to use a flashlight. And if you have any sort of vision challenges, older eyes, or it's really difficult for you to see in low light conditions, you probably would opt to use a flashlight on this stage. But one of the things that I look for when I'm looking at a stage to determine whether or not I want to use a flashlight in a low light condition is not what I can see of the targets, but actually what I can see around the targets. If I was shooting at an array of targets into the black nothingness of the range, then I would probably opt to use a flashlight. But because this particular stage had a lot of props between the trees, the flying monkeys, there were several things that I could index off of in order to see the targets to get the shots that I wanted to make on the target in that down zero section. At the buzzer, you dropped your picnic basket and you had 4 targets to engage. There were 2 stationary targets on the left, and then there were 2 drop-out moving targets on the right. Now, if you're feeling especially froggy or speedy, you could go ahead and try to shoot the 2 stationary targets before the other 2 appeared and in some cases disappeared. And that's what several shooters on our squad did. Now, for me, I didn't really feel very comfortable doing that. And that's one of my strengths as a competition shooter. Over the years, I'm very aware of what my own personal ability level is. It's very easy to get sucked into a faster or slower shooter's cadence in a stage or throughout an entire match. And that's when you have to be able to trust your ability, trust that you know what you're capable of doing, and when that happens, you end up with a great stage. For me, I knew that was a little bit fast for me, so I went ahead and engaged the 2 moving targets first, and then finished up with the 2 stationary targets. After that, I advanced to the second position where there were a few more shots, and at that point, I ran my gun dry, I did my slide lock reload, and I advanced to the final position. Now, what was neat about this final position, because we're talking a Wizard of Oz theme here, the targets actually had hardcover. If you remember from the movie, the monkeys had these staffs, and so the hardcover put right down the center of that down zero section of the target made for some challenging shots. And one thing I knew, because I'm a right-handed shooter, and if I have a tendency of pulling a bad shot, it's probably going to be a little bit left and it may be a little bit low. I shot to the left side of that hardcover, and that made it so that if I did pull a bad shot, it would be a down 1 or worst case a down 3 and not a miss into the hardcover. One final thing to note on this stage, especially if you opted to use a flashlight, is that the no-shoot target from the final position was the Tin Man, and he was lined with foil. And if you were using a flashlight and you didn't have that flashlight aimed towards the ground, then you would be sending all of those lumens directly back into your eyeballs, and that would have made for a really challenging time to hit those shots on those targets. So these are the things that you have to think of when you're looking at a stage. You have to look beyond just what you're shooting and the targets and the movement and all of that, and knowing your own personal ability level, these things are going to help you have a really successful stage. So hopefully you've enjoyed this stage breakdown video series from the IDPA Indoor Nationals. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and go ahead and comment below if you want to see more of this type of stage breakdown videos. I have a lot of awesome matches coming up between the Single Stack Nationals, the Revolver Nationals, and of course the NRA Bianchi Cup. And if you're happy with this type of video format, I'd love to do more of them for you. And until next time, be safe and have fun.